Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Okay. Welcome to today's live stream. It is March 6th of 2025. It is my husband's birthday today. Hi, VW Chick. Hello. Lil B. Hi, Medell. Hello, 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 hello. Hi. Okay. Welcome to today's Shut Up, Second Bacon. Only first bacon. So, a couple of things. Today, we're going to be breaking down the Gabby Petito Bodycam footage. That is a video that I'm editing. It is very long. Next week will be the last OJ installment. It'll be the last video. A couple of things about, yes, I did my makeup. Thank you. A couple of things about next week. So my daughter, if you guys didn't know, my daughter has a lot of health issues. Well, not a lot, but we have, essentially we're trying to find out whether she has a brain tumor or not. So on Monday, she has an MRI, and on Wednesday, she will be, or we will be having a meeting with the oncologist at the same time as my videos usually go live. So I'll just ask you if you guys want me to upload it earlier and I could be on the premiere. I don't want to do it after. I don't know how the conversation's going to go. And I don't know if I'll be able to figure it out, or if I'll be able to like pull myself together to be, talking with people in a premiere about the things that we're talking about. So obviously, hopefully Wednesday goes well. Depending on how Wednesday goes, I don't know if I'll be streaming on Thursday. So if it all goes well, I'll be here. But if it doesn't, I'm still going to put my video out as a premiere. But I if it's at 1:00, if you guys like the regular time, then I won't be here to be in the premiere with you. But we can discuss that later. No, I don't need a break. I enjoy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Take time off if you need. Oh, good. My chat's not showing up again. This thing hates me. I have like this little chat thing, and it hates my guts. It's supposed to be. I. As a mama bear myself, my heart goes out to you guys. Sending you guys love and light and hugs. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a long journey. It's been since 2003. We've been trying to figure out what this is. We've exhausted all options when it comes to neurology. They then sent us to rheumatology. And hi, Tavares. They sent us to rheumatology. We weren't able to figure it out from then. And then now we're moving on to oncology. And plot twist, she's applying for a job at the National Enquirer. One thing that they're trying to do, and they are going to take blood from her during her MRI, is she does have a spot on her brain that they're trying to figure out what it is, but also they're going to do genetic testing to see if she has a disorder called neurofibromatosis. And I guess there's neurofibromatosis 1 and neurofibromatosis 2. It's interesting because my son has some of the symptoms that go with either 1 or 2. He has what are called cafe au lait spots on his skin. He has one, just big one. And then he has these little things that look like skin tags, but they're called something. They're fibro something. But that's not the one that they're looking for. So whichever the one that my son has physical symptoms for, and also goes along with autism, which is very interesting. But whichever one they're looking for is not the one that they would be looking for in my daughter. So just to reiterate, on Monday, my daughter has an MRI. On Wednesday at 1:00, we will have a meeting with the oncologist. So depending on how that goes, I will or will not be here Thursday. If you guys don't see me with no update, it did not go well. I have eczema. My son also has eczema. But I just wanted to let you guys know. Also, I am going to continue. Sorry, this is how mothers are supposed to react to stuff. Why aren't you talking about? I don't understand why my daughter doesn't think about me. Why doesn't she think about me? I just don't understand, Mr. Pike. I wish I could highlight the comments because people are going to think that I'm psychotic or what I'm saying. Let me see if I can fix this before we get into everything else. Custom CSS. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Boop, boop. Let's go here. I restarted my computer and everything. You guys should be so proud of me. All right, now let's see if I can highlight. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. Oh, look at that. Nope, still doesn't work. God, this hates me. Anyways, okay. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Also, like I said, I try to upload every week, every Wednesday. But if I'm not doing a series and I'm doing more deep dives, then I don't know. Do you guys care if it's on a Wednesday? Do you guys care if I just upload it when I upload it and then I go live every Thursday? I want to make sure that my videos are the best possible quality while also putting them out as quickly as possible. But now that I'm getting into deeper and deeper dives, I don't know if I'd be able to hit that every Wednesday mark. But let me know in the comments down below. With that being said, we're going to get into this Gabby Petito what is it? Gabby Petito body cam footage. We're going to watch that. Upload when you can. Thank you. Yeah, it's hard. Oh, look at me. I'm coming up in the search. Look at us, friends. Look at us. You do what works for you and your family. El Jacat, I hope you feel much better. We understand. Take all the time you need and we will still be here. You guys are great. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's hard. I'm trying to be a stay-at-home mom and keep my house clean and do this. And there's a lot of people to make happy. I'm trying. Okay. Why do I still have this on here? Go away. Okay. So let's change our camera over to this. All right. And here we go. Look at me in the search. Look at me. All right, guys.
You'll be.
Whoa. Let's start. Gabby Petito. No, I want the full body cam footage. Full body cam Utah video. That's it. So, yeah. Let's see. All right, cool. So, Mr. Pike can host. But I can't. Let's see. Why is this not playing now? Of course. Hold on a second. Because I restarted everything. It's going to give me a hard time. Nope, it's going to the speakers. Oh my God, why is my face? Why did none of you tell me my face is so close? Good Lord. Cheese and rice. God bless. Anyways. Why?
I take your keys.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so it just takes it a minute to... Okay, here we go.
Currently doing 45 miles an hour. Zone through here is 25.
Oh, that's right.
Subject just hit the curb. Correction, speed limit is 15.
We like the Zoom.
I'm about 3/4 of a mile into the arches, just before the gate.
Okay, so if you guys are new here, for those of you that don't know, a 911 phone call was made. Is that a protein coffee? No, it's a Fairlife. It's a protein shake, actually. It's my lunch. Can you zoom further so we can peer into your soul? I have no soul. So a 911 phone call was put into the Moab Police Department, and they stated that they witnessed domestic violence, a domestic dispute, essentially. And they said that the man was slapping the female. The female was trying to get away, and the man kept slapping her. So keep that in mind. That is the 911 call that was put in. Okay? Actually, you know what? Let's do this. So I don't have to reiterate it. Let's go back and let's look at the 911 call before we get into the body cam footage, because it is very important that we remember that when we're walking into this case. Now, and also I want to tell you, I respect police officers, okay? I when they are great, they can be great, and when they're not, it's not. You know, I don't think that because there's bad police that all police are bad. I don't agree with that. I also don't for 1 second think that a police officer's job is easy. I think that you have to think on your feet. I think that you have to assess the situation. You know, but this one is a little hard for me. And it's like, I don't want to critique these police officers, but I think the thing that bothers everybody the most is that a phone call was made about a male slapping a female, and then they completely turn it around and they make it Gabby's fault. So the first thing we're going to do is listen to the phone call. Hold on. Gabby Petito 911 call. We'll do that first.
Wix, one platform.
Okay. We can listen to Wix first, I guess. My God.
Grant County Sheriff's Office.
Were you able to get a description of the intoxication?
Hi, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, I'm calling. I'm right on the corner of Main Street by...
That's a great point. So Estefara says, I hate to play the race card, but do you think if Brian was black or Hispanic, do you think the cops would have let him go? No, I don't. Especially if Gabby was white. Do you mean if this was a different situation? Like if Gabby was also a person of color? Because I believe if Gabby looked the way that Gabby does and Brian was a person of color, no, I think this would have been very different. Especially in Moab, Utah. So...
Moonflower, and we're driving by, and I'd like to report a domestic dispute of Florida with a white van, Florida license plate, white land, gentleman,
Where's it at?
5'6" beard. They just drove off. They're going down Main Street. They made a right onto Main Street from Moonflower.
Or what were they doing?
Cooperative, but what'd you say?
What were they doing?
We drove by, and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
He was slapping her?
Yes, and then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in.
He slapped her. He proceeded to hit her. Please just remember that when we go into watching this body cam footage.
The car, and they drove off.
Okay, you said it's a white van?
White van. I can give you the license plate if you give me 1 sec. I took a picture of it.
What kind of white van? Like a big one?
It was a smaller van with the license plate of, it was white, Florida license plate QFT G03. It was, the make was a Ford, model was Transit, black ladder on the passenger side.
Black ladder, passenger side.
White Ford Transit.
White Ford Transit. Okay, what's your name?
Okay, so that's all, and then he gets the details. So now we need to go back to the body cam footage, but it's very important when we go into watching this footage that you remember that that's what the report said. The report said a man was slapping the woman, and then she tried to walk away or get away, and he proceeded to slap her. Just remember that. I need to get my little iPad back so I can do this much easier. Also, let's make this so you guys can see absolutely everything in here. I got to figure out how to stream, maybe? I don't know, because I don't know how to do anything. All right, there we go. It should have been all that they needed to take him in. Yes.
Sorry, officer. You want to place your vehicle into park and go ahead and turn it off for me?
Look at her.
No, park.
Oh, it isn't parked yet.
Okay, turn off your engine. Go ahead and set your keys on the dash for me, all right? What's your guys' names?
Gabby.
Brian.
Gabby, Brian? Okay. What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm sorry, we've just been fighting this morning. Some personal issues.
It was a long day. We were camping yesterday, and camping got the stuff, flies and stuff. I'm sorry I hit the...
Now, here's the thing. You have this information, okay? They've called, they've said that obviously Brian has struck her multiple times. You pull up to the car. She's in shambles. Shambles. And he already is very calm, cool, and collected.
The bump there.
I was distracting him from driving. I'm sorry.
Can I get you to step?
I was distracting him. Gabby takes on a lot of blame for everything, which is obviously we know that all of these are opinions. This is all opinion based, allegedly, right? For entertainment purposes only. That's why we're on the internet. But in my eyes, a victim will always take that blame. I'm sorry. I distracted him. You'll hear her. I have OCD. I'm hard to get along with. I cannot imagine how hard this is for Gabby's parents whenever they see this footage. So heartbreaking. Yeah, right. And she tried to put the blame on herself because God forbid that she actually put the blame on Brian, who is the abuser in this situation, in front of the police. Because in Gabby's mindset, what does that look like when they leave, right?
Step out of the vehicle for me, man.
Yeah.
Just hang tight right there. Do you mind if I take your keys and just put them on your hood?
You got it, buddy. I'm so
Thank
sorry.
you. Oh, no, you're fine.
I'm so sorry to the police officer.
I'm going to go ahead and close your door, okay? Why don't you come over here? SO229, I have the female that was on the passenger seat separated from the male. Keys are on the hood. You want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just some days I really
Look at
got
her.
OCD.
She can't even breathe. She can't even catch her breath.
And I was just cleaning and straightening up the back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him, I just like, I guess my vibe is like, I am like in a bad mood.
I'm sorry. I was mean. I have OCD. I wasn't mean to him, but I was mean about the situation. It's sad. And you're right. She's so young and she's scared and she's far from home. And this is something that I'll talk about in the video, but this is Brian's dream scenario, right? He has her alone. And now he can cause this chaos. And then he can also be the one that she needs. It's a Ferris wheel, right? I had a woman when I was in a very nasty relationship, and I was doing her hair, and she would come in all the time. And she looked at me one day and she said, the only way to get off the ride is to get off the ride. And I was like, excuse me? And she said, the only way to get off the ride is to get off the ride. And I was like, holy shit. That's right, because it was also me who was doing that, you know, also just going back and forth. And it's all right. And you know what? Tavares brings up a great point. This is not exclusive to females, right? Being a victim is not exclusive to females. Being abusers is not exclusive to men. There are a lot of situations. There's one case that I would like to cover about an OnlyFans model who killed her boyfriend, who was very abusive. Women can be abusive. And I have to say, I talk a lot about abusive relationships and being in abusive relationships. And I am perfectly open and honest with the fact that in those toxic relationships, I had also exhibited toxic abusive behavior. So I just want to say I just want to say that, I participated, and I was so deep in this cycle because when I was filming the video for Gabby and Brian, I can relate to being in Gabby's situation, but I can also relate to being a part of that vicious, nasty thing. So I don't ever, if somebody ever came out and was like, Bacon Bears is a fucking bitch, I'd be like, yeah. I gotta tell you, some people will tell you that I'm the nastiest person on earth, and some people will tell you that I'm the greatest. Believe them both. I've had experiences in my life that have been good, ones that have not been good. And there's a lot of behavior that I've exhibited throughout my younger years that I was not proud of. And, that's the environment I grew up in, which is not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Because, I think that we have choices and we can learn and we can grow and we can make things. And I just, at certain points in time, I did not have the right tools to, get myself out of those situations, those toxic cycles. And I have to tell you, being in them, I liked them. I liked the drama. I liked the ups. I liked the downs because that's how I experienced love. That's how I experienced passion. That high was passionate. We were passionate. And it's like, no, this is toxic. This is bad. But I don't ever want to say that. I mean, there are times that I was in abusive relationships that I did not exhibit abusive behavior. But there are times that I did participate, and, I'm not exempt from that. And I'm a female, so I do want to say, having that being brought up in my chat, it's not exclusive to being a victim is not exclusive to women, and being an abuser is not exclusive to being a male. That's why I just use the words victims and abuser, because in this situation, it just so happens that it's Gabby and Brian, and, Gabby's a victim and she's a female, and Brian is an abuser and he's a male, and that's that. But I do want to address that, anyways.
I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I've just been really stressed. I had so much
I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I'm just really stressed.
work I was doing on my computer this morning.
What do you do for a living?
I used to work at an organic juice bar, but I just quit my job.
Okay.
I was a nutritionist. That was my
That's
job.
cool.
And I just quit my job to travel across the country, and I'm trying to start a blog. I just have a blog and stuff. So I've been building my website, so I've just been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been like I don't know, he's like down there. I don't know, we've just been fighting all morning, and
He doesn't believe I can do it. Then why did he go? That's one of the things that I'll never understand. He didn't believe in Gabby. He didn't believe in her dream. But he just couldn't let her go do it. He's actively on the road with her, filming and vlogging, while also parallel telling her that she cannot accomplish what they're doing. Lil B says, I was married for 7 years in a DV situation. I was 16 and I didn't know about DV until I was 18 and watched The Burning Bed. And that's when the light bulb went bright. Hi, Critical. I have to tell you, I think that's one of the things that this case opened up for the world, in the fact that toxic relationships and abusive cycles are not exclusive to older people. Or married couples. I think we always think like, oh, abusive relationships, like that's for somebody else or whatever. And now you get these young 20-somethings and you're like, oh, this can happen to anybody of any age, from any background at any time. And I think that was a really big conversation. You know what? Gabby Petito's case is very tragic, but all of the positive that has come from this case, I think, is beautiful. I think there's a lot of conversations that we've had about, coercive control and manipulation and isolation and abuse and domestic violence and ages. I also think that the fact that missing white woman syndrome is being talked about more and more and more. And even Joe Petito says, I didn't take it in well. He's like, I didn't handle it well because he didn't understand it. But instead of getting defensive, he went and he educated himself on it. And now they have the Gabby Petito Foundation, which helps people find their missing loved ones. And it doesn't matter what color they are. And yeah, and Medell, agreed. To make awareness or change, something terrible always has to happen. And, it is terrible because this girl had her entire life ahead of her and she was living her dream, and Brian just couldn't stand that.
And he wouldn't let me in the car.
It's so funny. Sorry to whatever. That's what I do. This is live. I don't know why I'm apologizing. I used to have boyfriends who I played softball and I would go out with my friends and we would go like do these little game. My one friend was into like these like little Batman games things. And we would go do that. And then I had a boyfriend at the time who would go with me and would have a bad time every time. And I'm like, why don't you just not come if you don't like it? And he's like, no, I like it. But the point of the matter is he didn't want me to go, but he didn't want to go. So let me tell you a little story. My husband is into fish. Hi, Betsy. I feel so bad for the parents. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. After she was already gone, their pain was increasing while he was on the run. Absolutely. So my husband is into a band called Fish. And when we first started dating, he was like, come see Fish with me. And I'm like, all right, yeah, that's cool. So he gets me a ticket. We go see Fish. It was cool. I like their music. Not my vibe. So the next time Fish comes around, he was like, hey, do you want to go see Fish? And I was like, no. And he's like, what do you mean no? And I was like, no. He goes with his friend all the time, the same friend. They've been going to see Fish for like, I don't know, 50 years. And I was like, no, I don't need to go. You just go with your buddy. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, you just go with your friend. And he's like, you don't have to come? And I'm like, no. And he was like, oh my God. Because his ex would go and, he had explained to me that sometimes it would always be an issue. And he couldn't enjoy the show because he was dealing with that. And I'm like, yeah, I liked it, but it's not worth me buying a ticket to go. Just go enjoy time with your friends. And he was like, what? And the same thing. There's stuff that I like doing or I like watching. And, I would be like, all right, I'm going to go. My husband's like, bye, have a great time. Whereas before, if I would go, my boyfriend would come with me and he would have a really shitty time or make sure that I had a shitty time. Or if he didn't go, I would go and then I would receive 8,000 text messages and I would have to be on my phone paying attention to that person. When I go out with my friends or when I do anything, I don't hear from my husband. Sometimes I'll text I'm like, are you okay? He's like, yeah. I would have said, go see Fish on your own with your buddies. I'd rather go see Tom Petty. Took my wife once, the next 40 times with my friends. No fishes. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you should be allowed to experience things. My husband cried when Tom Petty died. Yeah, I don't know if he ever saw him live, but the hardest feeling as a parent is wanting happiness for your children, but at the same time, you wanted to keep them safe. I know her mom does not want her to do this road trip. Yeah. I think it would be hard. You have to let her go, right? Right. But you want to support your daughter. What I never understood about people like Brian or people like, people I've dated is not being able to have that independence, not being able to want to go do things on your own. And, you know, it never hurts my feelings when I do something and my husband's like, yeah, I'm not into it. All right. We're two different people who like two different things. If you watch Manosphere content, it's a common trope that women's aspirations for a career are temporary. So it's entirely possible he thought this was a phase and to ride it out until she submits. Do I think she regrets it? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think her mom, I think as a mother, she would regret every situation that she's ever made. Or every decision probably leading up to this that she's ever made. I don't know how you don't. You know? My grandmother has lost 2 children. And one was 4 or 5 and the other was 18 months. And to this day, my grandmother's 80-something years old. And to this day, she's still, if I had done this differently, if I had done this. And neither of these things were her fault. Neither of these things. So it's just, yeah. I don't know what is manosphere. I don't know what manosphere is. All right. Maybe we'll try that sometime, huh? We'll try that.
Why wouldn't he let you in the car? Because of your OCD?
He told me I needed to calm down. Yeah.
He wouldn't let me in the car. He told me that I needed to calm down. He wouldn't let her into her vehicle, number 1, and told her she needed to calm down. He was slapping her. My daughter drinks way too much and lives with someone who abused her. She lives a block away. I can't save her. I tried, but she doesn't think she needs saving. Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing, right? When they're adults, what do? You know, it's hard. It's hard. Also, that guy who said the same thing. It's ridiculous. Even 30 years later, losing a child is painful. I don't know. And that's what my grandma has told me too. You never get over it. You just get through it. And, you know, even on their birthdays, she still cries. Think Andrew Tate. Ew. No thanks.
I'm perfectly calm. I'm calm all the time. And he really stresses me out. And this is a rough morning.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't I sit you down in the back seat of my car? You're not in any trouble, okay? I'm not going to be putting handcuffs on you. You obviously don't have any weapons. I'm going to get you into the air conditioning, let you take a breath.
Look at her.
Relax a little bit, and then I'll come back and talk to you in a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
Alrighty.
And I don't know if you can as a police officer, but I'm like, give that girl a hug. Give her a hug. I have to tell you, all right, I'm going to tell you guys a story that's completely off topic. But I told you guys I took my son to the emergency room recently because he had a little explosion of ear infection and earwax that was like impacted inside of his ear. It made like a little bomb. And I took my son to the hospital in 2023, because he was screaming in pain. For those of you who don't know, I have an 8-year-old nonverbal autistic son screaming in pain. We don't know what's going on. I take him to the ER. My son has a virus that mimics appendicitis. Okay, I didn't even know that existed. The doctor came in and he was talking to me and I'm sobbing. My son is in pain, like a whole bunch of things. And he came over and the doctor just like held me. And I think of this doctor every single day. Every single day. And then my son went in again for an ear infection. Very hard, nonverbal. We don't know. The same doctor in the ER opened the door. I started bawling. He's like, why are you crying? And I'm like, I think about you every day. Like, what a creep. I'm like, I think about you all the time. He's like, why? And I'm like, you're just such a good doctor. And it's so funny because he's like, okay. And he came over and he gave me a hug again. And those moments are just like, you just need them. You need somebody to be able to like let you let loose in their arms every once in a while. And I don't know is as a police officer if he could have given her a hug, right? I don't know if that's I don't know what that's considered, right? Like if he asked her, like, do you need a hug? Can I just, thanks for sharing. Yeah, no problem. I don't know. Can you do that? The female police officer that arrives could have. Yeah. And it's just, sometimes people just need compassion. They just need, a little pat on the back or a little rub on the back or something, human touch, like, hey, it's going to be okay. You're going to be all right. I do have to tell you, Lil B, the female officer that shows up on this call, if we ever get through it and I stop talking, it does make me really upset. She really does. I don't like it. The policeman cannot. Maybe the policewoman can. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting, if anybody knows, I mean, I guess Medell, yeah, you would know, right? I don't know. I just don't know.
Like I said, you're not in any trouble. So just go ahead and take a seat. Watch your feet.
Gabrielle, you talked to my fiance, right?
What's that?
You talked to Gabrielle, right?
Yeah, I just spoke to her.
Yeah.
So, you want to do me a favor? Let's go ahead and get you to step out of the vehicle, alrighty?
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Let's go.
Come on over here. You're not in any trouble right now. So, tell me what's going on.
She just gets worked up sometimes, and I try and really distance myself from her, so like I locked the car and I walked away from her. What happened this morning is that she's trying to start up like her own little website blog. And
a little website blog.
We really had a nice...
What's happening is she's trying to set up a little website blog. And the way he does his hands to a little website blog. So dismissive. Is this the one where they think she was being abusive to him? Yes. And we also went through the 911 call before. And the call was about domestic and a male hitting a female. The confidence of knowing your life is void of accountability. Exactly.
Nice morning, if anything, but she just got worked up because we were trying to get going and get our day going because we want to go like arches before the summer time.
Okay. You want to tell me about those scratches on your face?
She had a cell phone in her hand. That's why I was pushing her away, because she wanted. I locked the keys so I could walk away. I said, let's just take a breather and let's not go anywhere. Let's just calm down for a minute because she was getting worked up. And then she had her phone and was trying to get the keys for me, so I got in the way. I was just trying to. I know I should.
You know what I never understood about this footage is when he says she got worked up and, she had her cell phone in her hand and that's why I was pushing her away. One of the things I would like to ask the officers is why not bring up the 911 call and say, listen, we saw you guys hit the curb, but that's not why I pulled you over. I pulled you over because somebody called with your license plate saying that you were putting your hands on her multiple times. It's not about pushing her away. The male was slapping the girl is what the 911 call said. I feel like that wasn't ever even taken into consideration.
Trying to push her away to go, let's just take a minute, step back and breathe. And she got me with her phone.
Can I see your hand? Oh, you got a mark right here.
Oh, that's from a wire.
That's from a wire?
Yeah.
You want to tell me about hitting that curb?
Hitting the curb was her grabbing the wheel.
She grabbed the wheel?
Yeah. She said, I can't believe we're getting pulled over, and then she grabbed the wheel.
What about the speed? Did she take over the... the pedal on you?
If I was going fast, I'm sorry. No, it's probably just the moment of... I'm still shaking now. The adrenaline, seeing the lights flashing up, and then her gripping the wheel. So if I sped up, I'm sorry.
Yes, they did, Mike. So Mike Petty says, I don't believe the police knew what the 911 caller said. Yeah, no. They found the van because the domestic was being called in. So and I believe it was the guy that is talking right now. Well, I guess not on dispatch, right? But they sent it out. So they knew at this time what had happened.
Sorry about that. Or if I was speeding beforehand, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it took quite a bit to catch up to you. So, yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
We were trying to catch up to you because they gave them the license plate. So they were looking. And that's right. El Jacad, thank you. There was a bolo with a report of male to female DV.
Just going into the park again to get water because we have a 6-gallon water container to fill up. So we're just grabbing water for the hike. Okay. And I was trying to keep everything calm and quiet because there's plans still to go for a hike. But it's good. I'm really sorry about that.
Of course. Do me a favor. You want to go ahead and just take a seat right over here on the curb for me?
And if I was speeding, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You don't have anything in that pocket or anything like that, do you?
Nope.
Just the wallet? All right. And then, do you mind lifting your shirt so I can check your waistband? Turn around for me real quick. Perfect.
Nothing.
I just want to make sure. That's all, man. Go ahead, do me a favor, take a seat, all righty? Oh, do you have your ID on you?
In the car, if you want to come with me.
No, we'll just do this. Just go ahead and take a seat.
You come with me, I'll give it to you.
No, you're fine. What's your first name?
Brian?
Brian? Is that layman spelling?
B-R-I-N, and L-A-U-N.
And then your last name?
L-A-U-N.
L-A-U-N.
D-R-I-E.
D-R-I-E?
Yep.
Laundry? Mm-hmm. Okay. What's your date of birth, Brian?
So I want to show you, while they're doing this, I want to take a minute and show you guys this, just so we're aware. When this all happened, this is what Gabby's face looked like. This is the picture that she took of herself when all of this happened. Also, with the fact that there was a phone call from male slapping the girl. So the body cam footage obviously doesn't do anything justice. This is insane to me.
It's okay. I'll give you some shit. Sound good?
Not only that, but they also go to talk to her and she's got grab marks on her arms.
All right, just hang tight for me. SO2.
And he has a physical advantage on her. He's got some scrapes on his eye from what he says is the cell phone. And her face looks like that, and she's got marks on her arms.
I need a 29 name and date of birth.
That's true. Hysteria can cause swelling of the eyes or the face because she's crying. But what got her into the point of hysteria?
First name Brian, layman spellings, last name Laundry, Lima Alpha Uniform, November, Delta, Romeo, India.
Yeah, the cops put them in timeout. He has scratches. I stand by the statement that they both should have been arrested. I don't. Because what message does that send to a victim when you arrest them, when they get in trouble for something that has nothing to do with them? That's the hard part when you go in there and you want to arrest two people, because now if this gets worse, or, that then makes a victim not want to go to the police again because now he's going to hit me and I'm going to get arrested. I do think that with the way Gabby looked and from the 911 call, and the fact that Gabby will admit to him grabbing at her face and she had to push him off of her because the cop says, "Did you hit him?" And she goes, "I guess I hit him first. But I hit him to get him off of me," this is still assault. Should Brian have been arrested? Absolutely. I don't think both of them should have, though. Oh, I see.
And then what? And his reaction was to do what?
It's going to be out of Florida.
He just grabbed you? Did he hit you though? I mean, it's okay if you're saying you hit him, but I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth if he actually hit you. Because, where did he hit you? Don't worry, be honest.
I guess I hit him first because he grabbed my face.
He slapped your face or what? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So has he been drinking?
No, we don't.
Okay. What was up with his driving? This officer said he hit a curb. While you're driving? While he was driving, you were hitting him? Did you already tell him all this?
So Mike says that's not the police's problem. They both had marks. It would have worked itself out in court. She may have escaped her fate. The problem is when you put a victim in handcuffs, like she's already going through trauma, and then you arrest her. It's like you're re-victimizing her again. And then she has to go to court to fight for, to fight for people to believe her. Like, and I just think that a lot of that is the reason that victims don't come forward. In Texas, what she's describing is an assault upon her, which she defended herself. And I agree with that. He put his hands on her first, and she defended herself. Maybe if they'd both been detained, not arrested, they would have been separated, and they could have used their interrogations to get the truth. So I don't want to give my whole video away, but I go through the proper protocols that are supposed to happen in this situation. And that is one of them. They're supposed to separate them and keep them private. In my state, by law, touching someone while angry is battery. So, John, but is that the same if you touch me and then I touch you back? You know, I mean, if you're on me, right, and I need you to get off of me and I touch you back, is that also battery? But maybe she gets away from him after that and understands how serious it was. Yeah, what I think should have happened is that the cops should have been like, listen, why don't you guys come down to the police station? Let's have some water. Let's get something to drink. Let's get in the air. Let's all relax for a second. Put him in one room, put her in another room, and gone with it. And Critical says, watching everyone speak to her like a girl and him as a man is infuriating. That's one of the biggest things that the internet had issues with when it comes to this body cam footage, is the stark difference of how they were treated from the police. There's an eyewitness against him, not her, and they never asked Brian. And I agree with that. Brian obviously lied to the police. Yeah, no. I'm not saying, Gabby. I'm just asking you about what you said about the state, the law in your state. Like, let's say if you were to attack me and I were to, do like self-defense to try to get you off of me, is that still charged as battery? That's what I'm asking. But anyways,
I didn't get that far into
Okay,
it. She
so
was hyperventilating a
She's
little
saying
bit.
that they don't drink, but at the point when you lit them up,
They don't drink or anything.
She started hitting him.
I was yelling at him, and then when you turned your lights on, I kind of punched his arm like there's an
so
idiot.
she's saying like hit the curb. You said it was Gabby?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I remember that name. It was Gabby?
Yeah.
the other thing is too, if you've never been into an abusive relationship, like I believe there are going to be some people who take this out of context. Well, she hit him while he was driving. When you rip the Band-Aid of respect off because you've crossed the line of putting your hands on someone else, when that happens to you, it also sends you to a very unpredictable place because you are put in a position that's very afraid, you know? Oh, I can't see how many people are here. Think about a bunny. Bunnies just hop away, right? Have you ever seen a bunny when they're like held and they just like punch and kick and do all these things? And I think that's what it becomes. You put somebody into a position that they're not used to being in. They're afraid. They react. And sometimes when you're put in that position, especially if this is the first time that Brian ever put his hands on Gabby, she has no idea what's going on or what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, and if you see her, fight or flight doesn't know if someone is driving. Right. Thank you. Fight or flight. Perfect. She can't get out of the car. So now not only has Brian been accused of assaulting her, but now he's in control. He's driving the vehicle and she's trapped inside of the van. And and a victim will lie to cover for them. Especially if, El Jacquard said, I can't imagine if this is the first time. I don't know. It might be, it might have escalated. So I actually watched a woman break this down and she said something very interesting. She said that abuse never goes backwards. It always escalates. And she said the police, that's something that the police should know, because Gabby talks about how Brian grabbed her face. And she said when anybody puts their hands around you like that in that position, that was very scary for her as a psychologist, because that movement is only going to get worse. It's only going to progress. It's only going to escalate to something worse. So she said when she saw that in the body cam footage, this movement close to her neck, close to her face, it did not surprise her in the least that Gabby was killed by strangulation. Right now, logging in. I'm at the beginning of the stream. We'll catch up. One of my grandsons has neurofibromatosis. My youngest daughter was confirmed to be the carrier after he was diagnosed. Interesting. Well, after Wednesday, we will have more to talk about, Kat, depending on how this goes. The police blew it. I agree. In this situation, I agree.
But you tend to have a lot of anxiety and stress.
I have a lot of anxiety.
And what's his
OCD.
name? Is it Brian? Is he usually pretty patient with you?
You tend to have a lot of anxiety. And what's his name? Brian? Does he tend to be pretty patient with you? I think I told you guys this in a live the other day. In 2023, I had a nervous breakdown from a bunch of things that happened with my kids. I suffer from anxiety. I suffer from OCD. I suffer from eating disorder. And I was medicated for the first time in my life. I also suffer from ADHD. I mean, I don't suffer. It kind of makes me great, gives me my sparkle. But I was medicated for it. And it has changed my I'm gonna start crying. Holy shit. It has changed the trajectory of my life. Never once has my husband said anything about being patient with me, tolerating my behavior. Is he usually pretty patient with you? This isn't potty training a puppy. Being patient with somebody who has with anxiety, and being understanding of somebody that you love who suffers with anxiety is very different. Ocean, I got to tell you, the first time you were in my chat was the other day, and I can't stop thinking about that. What did you say? The bees, the trees, and the open breeze, whatever. It made me laugh so hard. The last I was informed, a partnership is a two-way patience. Yeah, I mean, I just hate the way that this is said to her. And he's usually pretty patient with you. How about she's pretty patient with him and the fact that he slapped her? Why is nobody asking about the 911 call? Listen, I understand that you guys are here right now in this car. I need you to take me back before you got into the van. Somebody called us and told us that he slapped you. Is that true?
What was up with his driving? This officer said he hit a curb.
Hi, Cuff.
While you're driving? While he was driving, you were hitting him?
John Charles, I am so sorry.
Did you already tell him all this?
I didn't get that far into
Okay,
it. She
so
was hyperventilating
She's
a little
saying
bit.
that they don't drink, but at the point when you lit them up,
They don't drink or anything.
She started hitting him.
Yeah, I was yelling at him, and then when you turned your lights on, I kind of punched his arm like there's no just an idiot.
she's saying was why he hit the curb. You said it was Gabby?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I remember that name was Gabby.
Yeah.
Yes, the cheese trees and the ocean breeze.
Try to meditate stuff, but you tend to have a lot of anxiety and stress.
I have a lot of anxiety.
And what's his
OCD.
name? Is it Brian? Is he usually pretty patient with you?
Yeah, but it just makes me upset. I know that he definitely gets frustrated with me a lot.
I hate the way that was said to her. And he's usually pretty patient with you?
Way of taking my anxiety and bringing it down, but my ex-wife, that's why she's my ex-wife, I'm just sharing, I know it's a little personal, but to help you understand, we would feed off each other's anxiety and it would spiral. You know what I mean?
Hey, Betsy, thank you for gifting a membership. I appreciate you. That girl does not know how to throw a punch. She is not, and I repeat, is not the aggressor. Exactly. Thank you, Betsy. Thank you. We appreciate you. Amy N just got a membership. We appreciate you. And now he's telling a story about his ex-wife, who he's like, and she's my ex-wife. Somebody come get this man.
I loved her. It may be bad for your soul. Just saying. I'm not telling you what to do with your life, but
Oh my God, what?
Feed off each other's anxiety and it would spiral. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter how much I loved her. It may be bad for your soul. Just saying. I'm not telling you what to do with your life, but if you know you have anxiety, look at the situations you can get in. You know what I mean?
Hi. I have anxiety. Okay? I think that there are a lot of, oh my fucking God. I think that there are a lot of people out there who can say that they have anxiety who have never been slapped by their significant others. Number one. Number two, the way that he says this, you have anxiety. Look at the situations you can get yourself in. Brian's actions do not belong to her. They don't belong to her. They don't belong to her. If somebody puts their hands on you, that action does not belong to you. This is why police departments need counselors to go out on domestics. Thank you, Ocean. Yes. Watching this is giving me anxiety. Absolutely. I think the cop is an ant, except I don't know how to spell. Maybe it starts with a C.
To be mean to you or anything. Well, you know, there's a first time and then it usually, we'll go see what Brian's saying, but I think you've heard everything now from...
Quick question. You said you were hitting him in the arm. Did you grab the steering wheel?
No, I didn't.
You did not touch the steering wheel?
I didn't touch the steering wheel, but only for like a second, because I just saw the lights come on, and it was more just like, you're an idiot. Like, you know.
But did you grab the steering wheel?
Also, too, maybe take a look at the fact that she's been, from start to finish, she still cannot gather herself.
Or anything like that?
No. I didn't touch the steering wheel at all.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close this door again. Do you have enough air back here, or do you want me to kick it up some more?
Do you have any water?
I will see if I can find some.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
So here's the female police officer.
Can I get a bottle?
Did you already give a statement for this officer?
I've got this gentleman here.
Yeah. This gentleman noticed that you had some marks on your neck. Yeah. And she's got some marks on her too. We're just trying to figure out what all happened. And I know you probably already told your story.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what happened. Maybe ask them about the 911 call. That would be a great start. That would be a great start.
This officer is probably going to be the one handling the whole case. Do you want to listen to what he has to say? And then you tell him what happened. So, if you don't mind.
Start at the beginning for me.
Start at the beginning.
Also, now I'm just picking this apart. But I love that he's like, you tell him what happened. No. Tell him your version of what happened. Because there's a difference.
I don't want to go too far back, but we've been in Beyond Land for the past week or so, traveling around. And the flies here are pretty intense, so the flies have definitely been getting to her. And then my feet are dirty and everything, so I think that our little squabble started because we were hanging out at the coffee shop, and when we got back to the van, there was some dirt and stuff in the van, and I moved our food around, it was a little disorganized, so she gets a little...
You know what's interesting to me, too? A lot of people, when they get nervous or when they lie, they smile. I don't lie only because I'm too dumb to do it. I don't remember the lies that I've told. So you're going to get the truth. However, I do smile a lot when I get nervous. And I find it interesting that throughout this whole thing, he's just sort of smiling. Even if I don't know he killed her, I'd say this whole thing is on him. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He just puked word salad. Exactly. Tell us what happened. I don't want to go too far back, but we've been doing this, and this. Maybe you should go back to when you guys were on the sidewalk before you got into the van, but we didn't go there, did we?
It's okay. Do you need any water?
It's okay.
It's hot out here.
We were going to get water because we ran out, but it's okay. No, it's alright. I don't like plastic bottles. It's okay. Thank you, though. But we just had a little disagreement there. And the disagreement was just that she was getting a little worked up, and I was saying, no, it's okay. Thank you so much.
Oh, what nice manners he has.
So it was just more of a disagreement, and I just wanted to say...
What was the disagreement about?
It was, I wouldn't even call it disagreement. It was just that I'm dirty, and I can't change being dirty. Like, I got dirty feet, I got sand on my flip-flops and stuff like that. It was that we were at the coffee shop for so long, because we were there from 9 to 3. So I guess there's a few little things, little relationships. I don't know if you're in a relationship, but I'm sure you
I've been married for over 5 years now. So.
There's a lot of little things.
Yeah, I can go with
and
I get it.
We really we weren't physical before the point where I said, all right, let's just take a breather and walk away for a minute. I'll lock the van up and I'll go for a walk this way, and you can go walk that way on the block. You know, there's that what is it called? Moonflower?
Right, yeah.
Nice areas. You can go either way. It's all shaded. So let's go for a little walk and breathe and come back. Because we're happy with it. I'm not upset with her. She got a little worked up, and she had her phone in her hand and her keys and everything. And she wanted, not her keys, her rings. She had her rings, her phone. And I was holding on to the keys because I didn't want to go anywhere. And my big fear is, I don't have my phone. I don't have a phone. So she goes off without me with a car. I'm on my own. So
yeah, and that's not your car. It's her car that he's holding the keys onto, that he keeps in his possession. That's her vehicle, registered to her, financed by her.
And she was trying to get the keys for me, so I just go, just wait back up, and that's what she did.
Which is, I'll decide when you can get in the car. You calm down. You're being too emotional. I'll decide when we can go. I'll decide.
I didn't get. I don't want to push you, but I didn't get overtly physical. I was just trying to keep her away and not get hit. And
I didn't get overtly physical. Right. Thank you, Lil B. And I'm sure he said it just like that. Absolutely. I'm sure he said it just like that. Right. He's such a voice of reason. Exactly. Right. You know what? Why don't we just calm down a little bit? If he held the keys and said, why don't we just calm down a little bit? Why don't we just take a minute? There would not have been a 911 call saying that a male was continuously slapping a female. Which again, still no one has asked about.
That's probably fear of his attention where I was going, back up, get away, just give me a...
Okay, so you said you pushed her to create some distance, obviously, right? What happened after that? What got the scratch?
If he pushed her to get her off of him, again, let's use our critical thinking hats, boys. If he pushed her to get her off of him, why does she have scratches on her face? There's tension in his voice that combined with the speed of speech indicates lying.
On your eye.
The phone.
The phone. So you pushed her and she hit you?
It wasn't like a push and she jumped on me. She was already, I don't want to, she was already swinging and I was pressing.
She was already swinging. Right. And he was creating distance. That's right. He was creating distance. Yet somehow she has marks on her face. She has marks on her arms.
Hands, a lot of nails, a lot of rings. Yeah.
Oh my God. So funny. A lot of hands, a lot of nails, a lot of rings. You're so funny, Brian.
Left side of your head. You got one in your face here, and you got 4 bleeding over there. So you just try to, it looks like 2 nails coming out.
Do you mind lifting up your right sleeve for me? I'm curious about something.
It's a little bit of nails. I suppose fingernails, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about
fingernails. Is it bruised or tender or anything like that?
No.
I feel like they're trying to find more. Is it bruised? Is it tender? Because he's like, it was probably nails, but I'm not complaining. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure it's not a bruise?
I'm fine, and I love Gabby.
I'm fine. I love Gabby. You love her so much.
She doesn't have too many complaints about me. I'm just,
I'm just a nice guy.
It's so public. I was just trying to be loud. This is, I try to make her calm down and be like, look, everyone's watching. And like, stop this.
Thank you.
This is unbelievable. I have yet to watch this all the way through.
I got a quick question for you, Brian. Sure. Do you take any medications or anything like that?
He said in the beginning you pushed her. Now he said it just really wasn't a push. He keeps summing down his original confession. Yeah.
Like that? Okay. Are you normally this kind of like hyper?
Do I see that? My heart rate up, whenever the lights flash on, it gets your heart rate up. So I see my.
Trust me, it does me too, and I'm the one that it gets me going a little
You probably
bit
can
too.
say, "Hey, buddy," whenever somebody walks up.
So, okay. Yeah, do you know if she takes any?
She's crazy. No.
Ha ha ha
No,
ha 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 ha. I need a boo button. Boo! She's crazy. Ha ha ha. Grow up, Bacon. Grow up. The cause of death was strangulation with signs of blunt force trauma. I can't imagine how her mom and dad felt when they saw this. So sorry, you guys. I will catch up. No. Boo! Boo this man. I'm going to make that a sound. We'll clip it.
Boo! Boo this man.
You know what I want to know? Do you have a "That's my opinion" button? I need one. Oh my God, that's my opinion. That's my opinion by what's her name? I need that. Yes. Don't tell me. Tamra. Jihad, that's why I mentioned the cop with the O.J. Simpson trial. Yeah. More like locker room talk than anything. She's crazy. Haha. She's sitting in the back of a cop car with marks on her face from you. She's crazy. That girl. You know what I wonder? Which I guess I shouldn't wonder because this whole family is a giant. You're so cute. Thank you. I honestly wonder what his parents thought of this as well when they saw this. Not that they liked Gabby, not that they did anything to help or aid or did anything for Gabby, but I am interested to know probably nothing, which is why Brian, was the way that he was. And, I don't know.
No, none that I know of.
All right. Oh, no, you're both sick? Aw. I don't know why that's so funny. Feel better, both of you.
Real fast, can I get your first name?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle, how do you spell that?
G-A-B-R-I-E-L-L.
And your last name? B-E-T?
P is in Peter.
Oh, P.
And E-T-I-T.
I see. Oh.
This ring here is...
No. One day I'll be able to pay for like YouTube Red or whatever it's called. Then we won't have ads.
You guys both live in Florida, right? Or that's where you guys come from?
My license is Florida right now, but I'm from Florida.
So that's where you have it out of currently? That's 0229. I need a 29 for my name and date of birth. First name, Gabrielle.
Also, I still don't understand why they're doing this on the side of the road. Like, why they just never said, listen, get in the van, or one of you get in the van, one of you follow us down to the police station, one of us will go to the police station, and we'll just sit there and talk. Like, why was this all just done on the side of the road?
Alpha, Bravo, Romeo, India, Echo, Lima, Echo. Last name, Petito. Papa, Echo, Tango, India, Charlie, Oscar.
How does he write with those gloves on? Here's the...
It's gonna be Florida.
Oh, there's conversation between them, critical.
Just kind of hanging tight with it. That's all right.
ATF?
Florida. Florida was our last address. Still get down there. How long have you been on this trip? 4 to 5 months now. I think you're on 5.
What was the determinants? What was the ending of this trip? Moving to a new place?
We're going to Portland. Her grandmother's best friend lives in Portland. Where we stayed. 2 years ago, we did a one.
That's a great point. I wonder if they would have arrested him if this was a house call from home. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Cross-country trip, which we love. We're in Nissan Sentra, like a tiny little car. So I was like, let's do it better. And it's got a big van, not a big, it's a tiny van compared to all the big. But I said, let's try and do it a little better.
Yeah, let's do it better. Let's get a van. Let's get a van and go across the country. I said, because I only have this little car, I said, let's get a van. Brian, I'll wait for you to tell me who paid for that van. Okay. I'll wait for you to tell me whose name it was registered in. Okay. Just wondering. Even the fact that he is interviewed while standing on his own 2 feet next to her car, the laughing, the carrying on. Exactly. Exactly.
Sure. But yeah, we're going over to Portland, and I don't know if you're probably more familiar with it, but wolfing, have you ever heard of that? WWOOFING.
Yeah.
You got it.
I'm from California originally.
Oh my God, where you guys come from?
Part of my job, I dealt with employees that were from all across the United States and Washington, Oregon, California.
I love this. I love this tactic. Take it off of me and put it on you. Where are you guys from? Tell me about your job. What do you guys do? What about you? Tell me about you. Brian, you know what? This is perfect deflection. This is, if they could put it in a textbook, just chef's kiss, Brian.
Nevada, everything you can think of on your level Western. I know most of them.
It's worldwide opportunities on organic farms, so it's like a volunteer work-away type of situation where you can work on organic farms. So that's our goal once we get over to Washington. We'll do that from Washington, then down to Oregon, and down to California. So I'm close to that. What part of California is that?
Where are you from?
Town just outside Sequoia.
Tell me more about you.
If you're going to be going through there,
we'll get good in the way of outdoors.
Good. But no, it wasn't too bad at all.
I just got on the phone with one of those 2 witnesses, and I recorded it. You want me to tell you what he said? Yeah. Real quick. Do you mind hanging with him for a minute?
Training causes a lot of systemic problems. How? So they were in police custody, and he murdered his girlfriend shortly after this. I mean, they weren't in custody. Unless you're talking about this. Hi, T-Bear, by the way. Unless you're talking about this, they got stopped. And then in the end, I don't know if we'll ever make it there, but in the end, they put Gabby in a van and they take Brian to a hotel, which I believe is for domestic violence victims. So, and yes, it would be, I forgot what day this was. I think it was 10 days after this is when he ends up doing what he does. And I don't know, again, because I stopped this a lot to talk to chat, but there is a point where they're like, yeah, just send them, you know, after that, it's not our problem anymore.
First saw the male strike the female. He saw.
There it is. He's mentioning the 911 call right here.
He said that he never saw the male strike the female. He saw the male trying to lock her out of the vehicle. She even told us that he was trying to lock her out, told her to go take a walk.
What?
So that she was trying to get in. She eventually couldn't get in and actually clawed her way in through the driver's door. He says, I don't understand why she's doing that. Well, I think.
Hold on a second. What? Was there a second 911 call? Because let's go back to this.
And we're driving by, and I'd like to report a domestic dispute. Florida with a white van, Florida license plate, white land, gentleman,
Where's it at?
5'6" beard. They just drove off. They're going down Main Street. They made a right onto Main Street from Moonflower.
Or what were they doing?
Cooperative, but what'd you say?
What were they doing?
We drove by, and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
He was slapping her?
Yes, and then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car.
The male was slapping the female. They were going up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her. And right now, he's saying that the witness never saw Brian hit Gabby.
I think it's because it was the only door that wasn't locked that she could get through. She's trying to get in over him. He's trying to disengage from her. I guess he hung her backpack on the back probably so she'd have her shit so that he didn't have to engage with her. Everything she's saying is the same thing. I haven't heard what he said, but if that's what he said, it's also what the witness is saying. The witness says, I never saw him hit her. I saw him shove her, but I couldn't tell if it was an aggression against her or a defense against her as far as her.
My brain hurts.
Being the aggressor. So at this point, unless the guy's screaming that he needs to go to jail and did something to this girl, it sounds to me like she is the primary aggressor.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with her being the primary aggressor is in an instance of domestic assault, be it a male or be it a female, we shall arrest. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they have to go to jail. We can do a citation if it meets one of three criterion, which one of them is that we can ensure that they're not going to further risk each other's safety. But the problem with that is they live in the same vehicle.
That's what I was going to say. The other part of it is
there was actually an injury too to the victim, which is him.
Right, and I'm getting conflicting stories.
There is also oh my God! I am dumber listening to this. She also has physical marks on her face. And he has a physical advantage. Holy shit. The gentleman was slapping the girl. Is there any moment of this that isn't sexist cringe? Great point. The people who reported it said they saw him striking her. That's legal grounds for an arrest. Also, yes. Is the cop simply a liar or stupid? That's a great point. I haven't seen anyone else pick up on that. Good catch. Man, it is a shame that there is so much we will never know about this case and everything that took place. Breathe, break, and breathe. I can't. What the fuck is this? This is the number one reason victims do not come forward.
About why they hit the curb up here.
What did he say why he hit the curb?
Well, I've watched, this is what I saw first. Saw him cross the double yellow. I was doing 42 miles an hour. I was, I don't know, probably 2 car lengths behind him, tapping my wheels at him, trying to get his attention. They knew I was behind him. And then after he crossed the double yellow, he merged over into the right lane, and then out of nowhere, just boom, went and hit the curb.
So did he tell you why?
He said that she grabbed the wheel and turned it real hard. She said that she was hitting him in the arm. So
sounds legit. I mean, I'm sure
sounds legit. He said it. He said it.
Sounds legit. Bruh. Sounds legit. Bruh.
I almost feel sorry for these cops, but then I remember they're just so ignorant that they don't deserve my sympathy. We had a conversation before we went into this and watching this. I respect officers, okay? I respect law enforcement. I respect anybody who wants to get out there and do it. But as Eljika just said, and I agree with 1,000% of my ussy, this is horseshit. Horseshit. The one laughing and joking is the victim, and the one crying traumatized is the aggressor. Exactly, John. Exactly.
My arm's on the wheel and I'm getting hit in the arm, I'm probably pulling out the wheel.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was a little of both. I mean, usually the truth is somewhere in between. He's probably trying not to say that he hit her because he probably doesn't want her charged with assault, domestic assault. He probably would rather say she pulled the wheel than hit him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, unfortunately for her, we cannot treat, just because he's bigger and stronger, and even if he's not willing to press charges, we can't treat this differently than if it was a male on female violence. Yeah. And we're going to have to.
Hi, I was just wondering if anyone asked why she has marks on her face and her arms that one of the other officers pointed out. I was just wondering. Because if we're talking about size and not treating this any differently, is there a reason that she has marks on her face? That's a great point. Gabby took the blame because she was terrified of what would happen to her if he got cited or arrested. After all, look at what happened to her even after taking the damn blame. Yeah.
Charger, and we can do a citation if there's some arrangement that can be made to separate them, and then we have to let them know that there's no contact order in effect. Yeah. And we have to let him know the only way to drop it is to go into the police department during business hours and fill out a waiver, which, by the way, what's today? Thursday? So it won't be till tomorrow. I know they're till noon, I think. Yeah. Which I'm sure he's going to want to drop it.
Well, the other part of it is they said that they've been on 4 or 5 months that they've been living out of this van together.
Well, this is really bad news, so let's talk to him first.
Oh, let's talk to him first.
Yeah.
Did you ask him yet to take pictures of him? Yeah?
No, I haven't done any of that yet.
Brian, unfortunately, in the state of Utah, we don't have discretion on some things. Like, for example, if I pull you over for speeding and I want to give you a warning, I can do that because it's under Class A, it's a Class B or under. If I want to give you warnings for all kinds of stuff, I can. But there's a few things I can't. When I say I, please, I'm not in charge of anything. One of the things that the state legislature doesn't give us discretion on is charges when it comes to a domestic assault. And it sounds like you guys are living together, so you meet the statute for domestic partners. And you do have injury. And
so does she!
Probably the next one we're going to talk to as well, which we haven't talked to yet, but the one we did talk to, and your own companion have made it clear that she was the...
This is a great point. They never established ownership of the vehicle, which would have allowed for someone to ask her if she wanted him removed from the vehicle. They don't ask her anything. They don't ask her about the marks on her face.
Primary aggressor, and that she was striking you and you received injuries. You haven't admitted to striking her. She has not admitted to you striking her. The witness did not see you strike her. So at this point, you're the victim of a domestic assault. That even if you didn't want to pursue.
And he laughs. Someone just explained to you that you are a victim of DV and you laugh. I think I'm getting a migraine.
We don't have a choice. The best thing we can do to not... The law says we have to charge her. It doesn't say we have to put her in jail. Okay? But it also says we have to separate it through a no contact order. And we have to put her in jail if we cannot separate. And there's a little problem here. You guys out of Florida living in the van together. How are we supposed to separate you guys? Now, I don't want to take this...
Yeah, the whole thing. How are we supposed to do our jobs?
Small, 20, what is she?
22-year-old
22-year-old female in jail.
jail.
You could definitely defend yourself against, but at the same time, we can't say because you're a male and she's a female, we can't treat this different than if you were the male hitting her. We got to
He was the. Oh my God!
Gentleman,
Where's
about
it at?
5'6" beard. They just drove off. They're going down Main Street. They made a right onto Main Street from Moonflower.
Or what were they doing?
Cooperative, but what'd you say?
What were they doing?
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
He was slapping her?
Yes, and then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car, and they drove off.
Okay, you said it's
So she's kind of in a tough spot. So unless you have an idea about how she could not go to jail and be separated, you have friends in town, somewhere she could stay. Tomorrow, if you want to, it's up to you. You can go to jail. You can't because we don't have a charge for you. Now tomorrow, if you wanted to, you could get with her again tomorrow.
I'm gonna take your radio.
If you wanted to, go to the police department, fill out a waiver to drop the no contact order.
They did pay for his hotel. He stayed at the hotel for free, Betsy.
So you guys can still be together, but she's going to have a court date online. In a week or two, she's going to have to show up for a court date online and answer. The prosecutor might drop it. They might say, for example, if you're not willing to pursue it, that's your decision.
I was going to say, it definitely is. I'm not going to pursue anything. It's about fiance. I love her. What's the problem? I'm sorry that I had to get so public. But
I'm not going to pursue anything because she's my fiance and I love her. No, you're not going to pursue anything because you were the one who put your fucking hands on her first. Be fucking for real. BFFR.
So I just want to get like the checklist of things I got to do to get rid of this. So there's an online court date.
Well, she'll get a paper with a court date.
How do I get rid of it?
Well, the court date has to be attended in order for them to decide whether they need to continue or drop it. First is just an initial appearance to say, are you who we think you are? Yes. Do you understand the charges been brought against you? Yes or no? Yes or no, the answer. Do you have an attorney? Yes or no? Do you need one? And then from there, she can ask to speak with the prosecutor. The prosecutor might be contacting you and say, hey man, I know she's 110 pounds soaking wet and you're a big strong guy and we understand you're not even wanting to pursue this, but the cops have to follow the statute. How, where, in the interest of you and justice for you as a victim, what do you think? And they can decide to still prosecute her, or they can decide to drop it, or they can decide to give her a plea and make it kind of go away if she be hurt somehow. And that still does not eliminate the first court appearance that she has to attend, which thankfully for you guys is going to be online. You don't have to. So if you're out of town, here's the thing: if you're out of town and she doesn't come into her court appearance online, they can suspend her driver's license, they can issue a warrant for her. So she needs to play ball.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And we're a team. Me and her are a team. I'm sorry about all this. I apologize again. But so she's got her online court date. Just acknowledge it.
Why the fuck? I mean, I guess there's another police officer speaking to her, but I'm like, why? He's just giving Brian all this information. Go give it to Gabby. Go talk to Gabby.
Her, and then she's got one for the.
Well, there's automatically right now there's something called a no contact order in place.
Yeah,
from this point forward until tomorrow, if you wish to drop it, you have to go to the 217 East Center.
I agree with you, John.
I've got all the papers.
And you have to ask them to give it to you. You want to fill out a waiver that you're requesting a waiving of the contact order, no contact order. The no contact order means she cannot come into contact with you, she cannot talk to you, she cannot text you, she cannot go onto any premises you're occupying, she cannot go to your vehicle. And until you drop that, or until a court date, if you don't drop it, it stays in effect until midnight on the day of court. And then that gives you time to get protection, protective order, a long-term one if you feel like you need one. It sounds like you don't even want this one. So tomorrow, they open at 8, you can go to the police department, you can file the waiver, they can remove it, then you can say, hey babe, where you at? Let me pick you up. And you can pick her up. Now, we're hoping not to.
That's right. So if you go get the waiver and you go do this, you can pick her up and you can slap her again. Like the witness said that he was slapping her.
She doesn't have somewhere to go tonight. To be separate from you, then where are we supposed
I can't talk to her now because it's separation, right?
So tell me this. Do you guys have enough money for like a hotel room or anything like that? Because what we could do is we'd cite her for this, and then I'd give her a ride over to whatever hotel you guys is choosing.
Pick up there tomorrow if you
And
want
you-
to know what they
On your way to go pick her up, you stop over there at the PD, sign the paperwork that they're requesting, and then you can go pick her up quite literally within minutes.
Unless you know someone else in town that's a friend that you can stay with.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately not. I don't, and I guess that...
Man, I sure hate to... I don't want her to go to jail.
Will it be... If she goes to jail, it's like, that goes down somewhere instead of her going to a hotel, right? If you get a citation, it would be...
It kind of depends, though.
Ew! Did he just fucking snot rocket? Bitch, what? Look at the cop. This body cam footage. Watch.
Me and her and team, I'm sorry about all this apologies again, but I mentioned got one for the...
Well, there's an auto, and you have to have a big pocket, and in each apartment you pick her up. Now,
Is we'd cite her for this. On your way,
stay with me.
yeah.
I don't want her to go to jail.
Yeah, that goes
Here.
down somewhere instead of her going to a hotel, right? If you get a citation, it would be...
Ew! This is not real life. This is not real life. So he signs her out of jail and he gets her back. Yeah.
They'll take your fingerprints, it's going to go on the criminal history, and then if they don't convict her, then it will just show that it was dismissed. It'll show up in her criminal history, but the charge was dismissed. If she was found guilty, it'll show up that she was guilty of domestic assault. But the charge itself will show up on her criminal history until she gets the expunged. Now, even if we give her a ticket, we're still going to take a fingerprint, and it's still going to show up. Either way, it's going to show up. There's no way around a Class A. Or is this a Class B?
This is Class B.
But they do require a fingerprint on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
The other part is if you contact her or she contacts you, she could be charged with a Class A.
Well,
which is a little bit different, but it doesn't constitute.
If you were to contact her and she responds to you, then she could get a new charge for violating.
If you were to contact her and she were to respond to you, she could get in trouble. And what happens that night? I don't know who contacts who first, but they get back together. So even knowing that he could get her into more trouble, he does it anyways. And never once is he like, listen, she doesn't need to go to jail. She doesn't need a citation. We will go spend our time apart. We'll be done with this.
No contact order doesn't restrict you, it restricts her. So if you go talk to her and we find out and you're not in trouble, she'll be in trouble. So you're interested. Does that all make sense?
No, I'm getting it all.
It's a lot, really quickly.
I'm getting it all.
You know what I think, though? I think he ends up shaking his hand, which is even better. I love that he snot rockets, and then he shakes Brian's hand. Good.
I'm just trying to figure out a way.
You don't know anyone in town? You guys been around long?
No, I don't know anyone in town. If she went...
I don't think CCAM will take her if she's the aggressor.
No.
There's a women's shelter.
I'm curious.
You can find out. Say she doesn't have where to go.
If you did the citation, like say she drove off and she could drive off in this car.
We could give you a ride somewhere.
Then I got my backpack. Sucks for you.
I got my backpack. You can spend the night. You want to drive me to Delicate Art?
Does she have a good driver's license?
The domestic violence hotel won't take her if she's the aggressor, is what he said.
She's a driver's license, yeah.
So she would do vehicle and...
Yeah, she can.
Well, then you'd kind of be homeless for the night.
And man, I can't talk to her at all. Well, and I've got to do the thing, so I can't go camping.
We can tell her what it is that she needs to do to get through all this, and then let her know what the plan is.
Here's the problem, though. If we take you up to Delicate Arch, you're going to be hoofing it from Delicate Arch all the way down to Moab Center Street so that you can fill out that paperwork, because if you're not there by noon tomorrow, you're going to be looking at Monday morning.
It's early on Friday.
Yeah. You'd be looking at Monday morning before you could actually see her again.
And again, we're not trying to make your life hard. This is written statute. There's nothing
a lot of
about it. It's designed to protect victims of domestic assault.
Not everybody's the same. This is different than normal, but we have to treat everything the same. That's about it.
Yeah, he's just leaning up, smiling.
Very little money we have for sure.
You want me to? I'll call Sea Cave in.
See if CK will take me for the night.
I'll see if they'll take you though. Because then we can figure it out.
This is the way they take me. Oh. Actually, CK will take him as a victim of domestic assault. CK will take him, and they will help you tomorrow.
And you're like a block and a half away from the PG.
Let's see if CK will take him because they actually they didn't take a guy, but they got a hotel for a guy last time.
Yeah, I'll do that.
CK might get you a hotel. Now, what she does... I'm happy sleeping outside in a sleeping bag. No, I don't know. We don't want that. I'm just saying, I think CK will get you a hotel. If you want her to have the van, we don't care. It's up to you. But...
I gotta tell you, yeah, his ego is... What is it? He's walking away. Where's he going? To take a shit this time? His ego is like, haha. Oh my God. What the fuck was that now? Jesus Christ, this guy.
Yes, this is Officer Robbins with Monroe City Police Department. How you doing this afternoon? Oh, not too bad, not too bad. So I just did a domestic, and the male is going to be our victim. Is there any way that you can help us set him up with a place to stay tonight?
He leak.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great point. He basically turned her loose to be DV'd or worse again immediately, which is exactly what happened.
Thank you. So, the after hours guy isn't there at their office right now. He's going to run from his house over there, and we're going to get you all lined up. Don't worry about it. This is the phone call that they wait on. So don't feel like you are making anybody do anything extra on your behalf. So, we're trying to make this as easy as possible. I'm not wanting to take her and book her or anything like that.
No, I really, really appreciate it.
And I know how rough this stuff can be. Like I said, I've been married for 5.5 years. Our sheriff's spouse, I'd be lying to you. She lives with anxiety. I live with a woman.
No, both of
who
us
has
are really...
I know. Her anxiety elevates my anxiety. And sometimes it
that's why I'm like, I gotta walk away, I gotta breathe, I'm gonna backfire.
I can relate. Because my wife has anxiety and I hate it.
I'm not going to try to sit here and give you life advice. You've been on this road for almost as long as what I have. There's nothing I can tell you that's going to really make a difference. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry that this has happened. I'm sorry that it went to this extent.
No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Could I get my key and make like a little bag? If you can grab me something?
Yeah.
Is that alright?
Would you mind watching it for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, just if you don't mind doing it from over here, we don't want you to get hit in the road. Okay. So.
All right. You know what? We're going to put a pin in this because we're going to watch the rest of this. I don't know, maybe tomorrow morning. I'll see what I got going on. I really have to get this video done. But I got a couple minutes before I got to get going. And there's a couple of things since all of you are here. I explained to the chat in the beginning that next week we have a pretty rough week. My daughter gets an MRI on Monday, and then we talk to the oncologist on Wednesday. So let me know if you guys want me to do a premiere and upload the video earlier on Wednesday, or if you want me to just do the premiere and then I won't show up because I have the oncologist appointment the same time as my premiere. I don't want to push the video back because I don't know what kind of news we're going to get from the doctor. And also, I don't know if I'll be here on Thursday. If I am, I'll tell you guys all about it. If I'm not, and I don't update you guys, I just hope that you guys are, I don't even hope. I know you guys are going to give me the time that I need. So I'm not concerned about it, but I'll get back to doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But next week's going to be a little bit of a rough week. So, if you guys will just have some patience with me, that would be great. Hi, Mr. Darren Haynes. How are you? The one thing I can say, it may not be received well. I don't know. That's hard. They say that it takes up to 7 times before somebody can leave. And we don't know, how many times before she's been in this situation. Or was she planning to leave him before? I think it was on the table, but they went and they did this. Praying girl, do not worry. Take care of your baby. Thank you. You take care of you. Thank you. Why Gabby stay in an unsafe van and gross Brian in a safer hotel room? These cops' sense of judgment is off the charts. Yes. I'm here if you need me. Thank you, Kat. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know when we'll get the genetic testing back, but thank you. Right. She got gaslit by the entire gaggle of law enforcement officers and the entire group. Right. It does. It took me 9. Right. And that's the hard thing. It takes people a lot of times to understand that they're in a cycle and then get out of it. It looks like lazy police work, maybe close to a shift change, and they didn't want to do the paperwork. I don't know what this was. I don't know. Anyways, I got to go. I got to be a parent. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. And maybe I'll come back on tomorrow morning and we could do this over coffee. Other than that, I love you guys. Bye.